New patch, new tier list. I've grinded all day today. We just watched the Death Slam tournament as well. Obviously, there's a lot of changes, but let me address one thing first, which is the new urn. Very controversial. Most people dislike it, including me, most pro players, and I think most the general community. Right? And obviously, because the urn is so important and it's in open ground, some characters are stronger at those urn fights. My prediction, if you're watching this video, is the urn will already be removed or /nerfed or /put into the old place. I don't think the urn that we have at the current moment is going to stay in the game like that. So I will rate characters based on how strong they are in the overall game, including team fights. But for example, Graves is like actually very good at contesting urn only. That's the only thing she's good at. But she's, spoiler, is pretty weak otherwise. So that won't be taken into consideration because I think the urn will be changed. Which I guess we can start with Graves. Graves got a lot of adjustments to make her skulls more reliable. Okay, so the skulls track longer. They don't get stuck as much. They respond faster. They do more damage, basically, okay? Plus the 2 now spawns 1 ghoul at base, okay? That's a pretty major buff. But in return, they also nerfed her gun damage by 10%, okay? So I do think Graves is in playable tier. I almost want to put her in bad. I don't think she's very good in the current meta because she's just very weak in lane, and I don't think she's great. She's a bit better than before. Last patch, I put her in bad tier, right? I put her in D tier. I think she is a bit better than before. But she's still a noob stomper if you're struggling with Graves. I think you just need to stay out of her range, learn how to play against her, and she shouldn't be an issue for you. A character that got quite a few massive buffs is Abrams. Now, way tankier. If you put 1 point in Infernal Resilience, he gets more HP. If you put 2 points in it, he gets more lifesteal. He has inherent lifesteal on his 3 ability. Melee lifesteal, that is. And Abrams loves meleeing. Plus, the ult got buffed a massive amount too. I think he's very strong. It's very close between meta and very good. I think I'm going to put him in lower meta tier. I think he's a very, very strong tank. Not the best of the best, but he's very, very good. I will put him on top of A tier. This character got gutted, nerfed the hardest out of any character in the game. And I truly do believe he is now probably the worst character in the game. You might think that's over-exaggeration. Maybe later down the line when we look at other heroes, I'll change my mind and put him in like playable maybe. They removed his entire ability to escape fights with parry, which again I think was needed, but on top of that, they also nerfed his lunge, right? He got weaker in every regard. They nerfed his regen in lane. His laning was what he had, right? He used to be the strongest laner and then like insane in mid game and then he would fall off. He was insane. He did need nerfs. I just think they over-nerfed him a tiny bit. And I think he is a very weak character, one of the weakest in the game, in my opinion right now. Bebop also got hit quite a bit, especially his gun damage got nerfed, which is like the main thing he had. The main thing that like made him stand out from other tank characters was he was giga tanky before this patch and he had a lot of gun damage. And they removed a lot of his gun damage from his kit. He still has the rest of his toolkit and he's still very tanky, but compared to other tanks, he just lacks that special extra that made him like S tier in last patch. So I think I'll put Bebop in good. Like he's playable, he's a solid character. He's in good tier. He's just B. This was one thing I did not expect at all, and I was wrong on this. When I saw the patch notes, I thought this character was like getting a slight buff. It turns out that Billy gained a massive amount of HP per boon, and they nerfed his gun damage a tiny bit, so it seemed like he didn't get buffed a lot, but it turns out HP in this game is just really good, right? Like the last patch was literally defined by who had the most HP, and Billy's now back to unkillable, right? Like he's insanely tanky at all points in the game. The longer the game goes, the tankier he is. I think he's one of the tankiest characters in the game right now. He's absolutely broken. He's been perma banned or first picked in the $10,000 tournament, the Death Slam we're watching right now. Yeah, insane glow up. I didn't believe it. I think Billy's back on the menu. If you like Billy, the time to play Billy is now. Crazy strong character. And again, very good on the new urn, right? Calico has one thing going for her this patch, which is Arctic Blast got buffed. By quite a lot. Arctic Blast got buffed an insane amount. It's a very strong item and Calico loves Arctic Blast. But the character itself did not get any major buffs. They changed her Gloom Bombs to where she does like some more melee damage after now instead of making break barriers. but like she's still pretty bad. I'm not gonna put her in like D tier because I do think she's playable, right? The C tier, I think she's playable. Liam is saying snatch buffs, but I don't think she's very good. I don't think she's very good in the current patch. I think she's slightly better than before. Before she was very weak. Maybe we'll put her. I'll put her in low B tier because I do think she's like good, playable. But like most other characters just do her job better, right? If you want to nuke someone, one-shot them, there's a lot of spirit characters that do that better. And if you want to be tanky, there's a lot of characters that do that better. So I think Calico just doesn't really fill a role in the current game right now. Or it doesn't fill a role well that other characters can't do better. And that for that reason, I put her in low B. Celeste got a hitbox increase, so she's easier to hit. She got a few compensating buffs. Her ult does a bit more damage. Her 3 does a bit more damage. I think she's a very solid character. I almost want to put her in S still. Like, I think she's still very good, but she's easier to hit. And I think other characters benefited from the buffs more than she did, which I'll get into. We'll talk about some really broken characters. She's not S+. I'm going to put her low S tier. I don't think she's like S+. Dorman did get a few adjustments. His call bell is weaker. The door can be silenced, so you can stop him from using the door if he's silenced. Plus, if you run through the door now, he can't close it behind him for 8 seconds, okay? So there's a door cooldown timer. So the door kidnap mechanic is way less abusable. I've already seen this in my games and in pro games where people just run after the Dorman more often and can punish him more easily because Dorman doesn't have that many free outs anymore where he can just run out and not get punished if he gets silenced, and he can't just kidnap people over and over, which is a big nerf to his kit. That was his entire kit basically, right? Like, but he still has the insane, other mechanics that he has. He still can take someone out of the fight in a key fight, right? Like, he still has an insane ultimate. And for that reason alone, he is still very easily S tier. Drifter got a few buffs, okay? So he himself now does melee damage on Rend tier 3. Heavy melee damage, sorry. So his Rend now synergizes better with Life Strike, Spirit Snatch, melee charge. So he does more damage. Plus, the items I just named all got buffed as well, right? Melee items got buffed. All of them, in some way or another. So Drifter does benefit from these changes. He was pretty solid before, and I think he's very good now. Like, I think he's very good on ladder. People will develop builds over time. I do think you will run Spirit Snatch, Life Strike, and even maybe melee charge almost always on this character now. It's just very good, very, very synergistic. And you can proc these cooldowns very fast. Because again, the one counts as a heavy melee attack now. So the cooldown of both, the cooldown of Life Strike is lower and the cooldown of Spirit Snatch is lower. So he's going to be a very, very strong character in this meta. Dynamo got hit quite hard. Okay, they made it so the teleport, his translocator, doesn't fully cleanse debuffs anymore. It is only now 50% debuff reduction after. They made everything about him weaker. I think he got hit quite hard this patch. I'm going to put him in good tier. I don't think he's like niche, and I think I'll relabel the C into niche tier. I think he's like a solid character, probably like, bottom 33%. Like, he's not awful, but he's definitely not nearly as strong as he was before, which is a welcome change. This character was really insane before. Great Talon got massive buffs, okay? So all they did was his rain of arrows got a number of significant changes. He has now increased dash distance when he uses rain of arrows, so he has more movement instead of less. So you can now use rain of arrows to get out of situations. Before you would use it and instantly cancel it and dash. Now he can get away way further, especially with movement items. Plus, his items that he uses got buffed. Sharpshooter, first and foremost, got a lot stronger this patch. It got quite a significant buff, and Talon and Vindicta are the best users of that item, right? And his Owl is really solid in the current meta, right? Like, Owl, he was already really good before. He's definitely, like, he might almost be like S+++ tier. Like, he might almost be broken, but I'm gonna put him in meta defining. He's very strong. Haze was solid before, and now she got another buff. Fixation got buffed. Before last patch, Haze players, especially on high rank, max the ult, so you wouldn't die anymore. You run in, you ult, and you kill them. And now with Fixation, the ult does even more damage, plus her bullets do more damage. This character is also pretty crazy. Haze players rejoice. This character is definitely in the meta. Is she meta defining? Like super broken? Probably not, but like she's very, very good. One of the better characters in the game, especially on ladder. Holiday also got buffed, got more regen in lane, okay, so her lane got better, and the bullet damage got increased. Thank you, chat. She was pretty weak before. I think she's good now. I think she's good. In terms of pick characters that initiate the fight and catch someone, I think she's still a level below, which I guess we're going to talk about now, Paradox. Paradox is back to kind of crazy, okay? She was already the better of the pick characters compared to Holiday, but they made everything about her even better. Her Carabine does more damage. Her wall, especially max level, is a lot stronger. You can spam it more often. It has a lower cooldown between charges, okay? So wall max early might be more of a thing now. And again, all the items she uses also are very, very solid. She looks very strong. That being said, is she like meta defining? Probably not. I think she's like very good. Up at tier at very good. So this one is a weird one. Infernus really didn't see that many changes. They made his shots more consistent. The bullets of him are bigger, which means it's easier to hit the enemy with it, okay? That's all it is. But that means you will set more people on fire in general. And Dash Infernus, I died against this like multiple times today. It felt very strong. I think he's a very, very good character still. You still play him as Dash. You set people on fire, you run around, you can't really die, or you're pretty tanky compared to the rest of the characters. Keep in mind, all characters got an HP decrease, and Infernus loves killing people that are low HP. It's very easy to set them on fire, dash through them once, and they die, right? So I think Infernus is very good. Ivy, I think, is kind of mid, and when I say kind of mid, I think almost niche. Do we put Ivy in niche or good? Yeah, she didn't get any significant changes, and none of her items got a lot better. Alchemical Fire is like one of those items that got buffed that she uses, but otherwise her playstyle, her hybrid playstyle, where you really play her as like a hybrid kind of support type of character, didn't get a lot better than before. Tesla bullets did get buffed, but I think if you're gonna run a full gun carry, Ivy is not it. I think there's just better choices. There's a few coming up that are just better. So I'll put Ivy like right in like the middle of B tier. This might be a hot take of the video. Kelvin got nerfed. He's considered broken right now because, again, depending on when you're watching this video, he's broken with the urn mechanic because he can dome the urn. Again, I predict that there's going to be at least a partial reversal of the urn change. And I think even if the urn doesn't get changed, they're going to make it so if you freeze the urn, it will stop the countdown. Because right now you can freeze the urn, and the countdown will continue, so you get a free earn in, okay? So I will rate Kelvin based on that, okay? Right now, he's buggy and broken buggy, in my opinion, an unintended mechanic. I think without it, he's still very solid, but he's not, like, meta-defining. Like, you know, if the bug was, like, kept in the game right now and it didn't change, I would put him in S or even S plus tier. I think he's very good. I think he's, like, a solid support character, but not the best of the best. And I love doing that when I talk about the best of the best supports. Rem got the massive glow up. Rem is the biggest winner other than Yamato in this patch. They made his tag along, insane. You jump to allies faster, it heals more, it scales better. All the abilities you use, the barriers you give are higher. Like, they buffed every single thing about that ability. Plus they made his pillow a bit better too. Plus they made his ult better, I forgot. They made his ult give him a passive resist on base. So when you level it up, you have like 80% resist in ult, which means if you ult, the enemy won't be able to kill you. Character is absolutely meta-defining crazy S plus broken. Geist, I haven't seen a lot of her. I think she's just kind of okay. She's played as that like tanky carry character. There are, again, better tanky carry characters out right now. And if you want to have like a full frontline tank, there's a lot better choices. Like Abrams exists, Shiv exists, right? Billy exists. So I think, again, there's other characters that fill her niche better. For that reason alone, I put her in good. Like, she's very solid, but she's not a master of anything right now compared to the other characters. Lash got slight, I want to call it readjustments. It's probably a tiny nerf. So they made his gun a bit weaker. His grapple doesn't stack gun damage anymore, so his gun damage is weaker, but they made his slam damage higher, the spirit scaling, okay? So he's a bit more back to the spirit version of himself. But otherwise, he's the same character, and Lash was absolute S tier before. He's still very, very good, and he loves open fights, and right now, open fights are really common in this game. He is very strong. He's definitely a meta character. McInness also only got buffs, even though I thought, like, this is a ladder tier list, right? We're talking about ladder mostly. I thought she was already really good on ladder, but they gave her multiple buffs. I think they upped her gun damage a bit, and a few other things, like just quality of life upgrades that make her even stronger. I think she's a very, very good character. I think you cannot go wrong picking this character. Like, she's very, very solid in every rank, from Initiate to Eternus. The ult is insane. Her gun is good in lane. Her wall is good. Like, everything about her is good now. The turrets are annoying. Like, everything. Like, McInness doesn't have a weakness anymore, I want to say. Or at least not a weak ability. And she kind of plays herself. Yeah, true. The McInness mains are going to be upset that I said that. Mina got hit quite hard. The main thing that made Mina a standout character in the last patch was that she did insane damage with her ultimate, okay? On max level, it used to take 1% of the enemy's health for every bat, and there's a lot of bats. They compensatingly buffed her love bites. Her love bites are a bit better. Again, she was insane before. I think she's still a very solid character. The main thing that still goes for her is that she's still really good in lane, can still control the mid game very well. Like, she loves single target pickoffs, but again, meta is a bit more deathbally with the urn currently. I think she's, I'm gonna put her in A tier. Mirage did not get hit. There was like such a minor nerf that I can't even remember what it was. The reason Mirage is so insanely meta-defining broken, and still is because his scarabs make it so the enemy can't fight you. If you put scarabs on the enemy and he's in a fight, Mirage will win that fight. That's what makes him so strong. Plus, later down the line, you can do, like, the Echo Shard for tornadoes. This character is, I think, a top 5 character in the game. There's not much to say. I don't know why they didn't nerf him harder. He's insane in lane, insane in mid game, insane in 1v1s. Can be in any team fight at all times with his ultimate, right? That's like the main thing he has going for him. I think there's 2 more characters maybe that I would put in S+ tier. But one of them I'm sure about, and that is Yamato. Yamato was quite solid before this patch, and they just overbuffed her. For no reason. Better spirit scaling on Power Slash. It does like 800 damage on at 8 minutes. I'm not even kidding. They buffed the ult. They buffed the cooldown you have after Power Slash is now half. So you can use something, another ability right after. So there's less downtime on her. I don't know what Yoshi's smoking with this one. I gotta be honest. This is like, in terms of balance, I love this patch. I think it's very cool, refreshing balance changes. Like, the meta is changing up quite fast. This was the one misstep, I think, of the patch in terms of balance. I'm not saying Yamato didn't deserve like a tiny buff, but they went way overboard with her. I'm telling you, Yoshi is like a spirit main, and he played Apollo, and his co-workers were complaining that Apollo is too strong. So he removed Apollo from the game, and then he overbuffed Yamato, and now he's one-tricking Yamato. Probably not in Eternus, by the way, Yoshi, because otherwise he would have to 2-trick, and he can't do that, right? So yeah, Yamato is broken. I want to say best character in ladder in the game, probably. Mo got a few quality of life buffs. He can't get knocked up anymore when he gets meleeed in Burrow and stuff. I think he's okay. I think he's like a low B tier. Other tanks are better. AoE is kind of king right now. Any AoE damage. It's very rare that you are invading the enemy jungle as like 2 to like in the small skirmish engagements where Mo comes in and grabs someone in a 2v1 and gets a kill, or like a 3v2, he's good, right? But because all the fights revolve so much around like one big team fight right now, Mo just kind of suffers, I want to say, right? Like, he just kind of suffers in the sense that he's very good at the single target pickoffs, and Mo is also a great counter to gun characters, right? Again, gun characters are not that good right now, other than one exception, which we'll get into in a second, or maybe 2. But like, gun is really kind of weak right now, I want to say, overall. Like, the meta is definitely more spirit focused, and Sunblast doesn't really do anything to spirit, right? So Mo is okay. I think I'm going to put him like low B tier. Paige, niche. Why play Paige? A full support that heals well when Rem exists. That's my main point. Like, Yes, someone in chat said her ult gives half cooldown reduction on miss. I mean, if you're gonna miss the full Paige ult, if that's your playstyle, I mean, nice change, I guess, but like, I don't think you're planning on missing the Paige ult. That doesn't really make her much better, right? I want to say. So yeah. Oh, I forgot about this character because they gave Pocket a slap on the wrist, guys. Affliction now has 10-second longer cooldown, even though it's still the best ult in the game. Haha. First pick, first ban in every single game so far in pro play. We're talking from a ladder perspective, but it's the same on ladder perspective. You press the affliction button and you can't lose the fight. Nobody can heal. Pocket actually shits on Rem, because if you afflict the enemy, they can't heal and then they die. And yeah, the gun Pocket is weaker, but Majestic Leap got buffed. Pocket loves Majestic Leap. He can now fly around the map at Mach 5, never die, still kill everyone, still have the most or one of the most impactful ults in the game. And he can still one-shot you. This character is broken, and I don't know why they didn't nerf him harder. He was S+ tier before this. Literally before this patch, the last tournament we had before, he was banned in every single game. Basically didn't nerf him. They made him better. Yo, chat. Chat, for the last year, I've called 7 a dogshit character, and every single time I put a tier list on YouTube, people are like, Metro, you're biased. 7 is really good because he has a high win rate. I am happy to report that the first time in a long time, 7 actually feels like a very good character. Even though after the patch notes, after I read them, I was like, didn't change much probably. But there is one big but. So they fixed the item Arcane Surge. Didn't used to work on Power Surge. It now does. And Arcane Surge is like the best item in the game for 7 now. Because you can put it on Power Surge as like your second item in lane. You get 2 points in Power Surge. It scales better at 2 points in Power Surge, which means he suddenly can kill people in the early game. He's way stronger in the early game, okay? Like after he gets 2 points in Power Surge, he can actually fight. Now he's playable. Like he still has that hyper carry, super late scaling potential, but before he had the issue that he was just kind of dog shit for most of the game because he had to sit in jungle for like 20 years. But now with Arcane Surge, working on Power Surge, you can farm the jungle faster because your Power Surge is always online. You can fight early, plus Infuser got a major buff. It got a 1 second increase in duration, and 7 loves superior duration. So if you buy Infuser and superior duration, your Infuser lasts for 9 seconds. So you go in, you press Power Surge, you use everything, you infuse, and then you can press ult at any time, and you will not die for the next 9 seconds at least, because you have so much lifesteal. This character feels really good. Really good. I played him a lot today. I want to play him more. On ladder, I might even down the line put him in S tier. But like he really had a glow up. I think like the items he builds now are just a lot stronger. He still builds kind of similar, but again, run Arcane Surge. Every good build should have it. Like if the build you're using doesn't have Arcane Surge as second item you're throwing. The best 7 players in the game that I've played against today, GVS, Sean, they all ran Arcane Surge in lane, and the character feels scary. And because the character can fight early, he's stronger. I think it helped him that gun characters overall are a bit weaker, and it really helped him that he now has 55% crit reduction on the head. Most people only shot 7 on the head because his head was literally bigger than his body. He takes a lot less damage too. He's very good. Thank you, Yoshi. Best thing about the patch. Shiv, still insane, got like a bunch of small readjustments, not really nerfs, okay? Like a tiny bit weaker, but I cannot put him anywhere below meta tier. He's insane. Same for Silver. I rated Silver like S+ broken before. She did get some nerfs to a lot of her abilities. Her Bola, you can now like use like wall climb and stuff, like you can get out of it. And her ult got a bit weaker in some aspects. But it's, again, very slight nerfs, and before she was like absolutely broken, she's still meta-defining S tier. Sinclair, always put Sinclair like right in the middle of the pack, because when Sinclair has good ults to steal, he's good, and when he has bad ults to steal, he's bad. I think in the current meta, he actually doesn't have that many good ults to steal, funnily enough. I'm gonna put him in good tier, and like actually like pretty low good tier. Venator, back to OP. I think Venator is the carry guy again. No, Venator is S tier or S+. So they buffed his health by a lot. And again, might not seem like a big deal, but look what happened to Billy. I think the same thing happened to Venator. Not quite as big, because it's not quite as much bonus HP he's getting now. But remember, Warden last patch, the reason he was so broken on ladder compared to other carries is he was really tanky. And Venator is back to being really tanky. Not quite Warden from last patch level, but yeah. He is either S+++, I'm gonna put him in meta-defining very good. Victor got hit very hard in a lot of aspects, but he was very strong before. So I'm gonna put him in A tier. Might be hot take. I know a lot of people came into chat today and saying Victor is still absolutely broken, but his wall breaking got nerfed. Good, right? The wall breaking was stupid. Wall breaking is way weaker. His aura does less damage to objectives. He can't run into objectives brain dead anymore and kill them. But in team fights, he's still very strong, right? And like Urn, if you have ult, it's very good to die and get like a mass stun. So in other aspects, he got, you know, a bit better, and his healing actually got buffed compensatingly, right? Like they made his gun weaker and they made his ult weaker, but the healing got buffed. Someone said Vindicta S+ tier. I only played against her once. She feels fine. I don't think she's great Talon level. If you can keep her alive and she buys Sharpshooter, she does crazy damage. But she will never be a hard carry, because if anyone goes on her, she will still die. She's still a squishy character. And if you want to have that pick off from the back potential, I think Great Talon is just more versatile because he has Bird also and can get around the map. So I would put Vindicta in very good, not higher. Viscous, same story. He now has 40% lifesteal on his tier 2 Puddle Punch. The Viscous players in chat are always coping. They're like, actually that doesn't matter because it's not good in lane, but like it's very strong later on. Don't let the Viscous players fool you. They always act like their character is the weakest character ever. Might turn out that like in a week from now we realize he's absolutely broken. I think he's a very solid character. Viper, S tier, low S tier on ladder. They somehow buffed this character, even though she was very good. I would have put her in A tier without the buffs, but like, yeah. I think I'll put her in high very good, okay? That's where Viper belongs. Same for Warden, I think he's still a very solid character. He did get some nerfs to gun, but funnily enough, some of his builds feel better, and a lot of the items he buys feel better. Cultist is back to being stronger. I don't think he's Venator level, but I think he's very, very solid in ladder. And last but not least, Wraith. I think she was B tier before the patch, and I think she's B tier after. She actually didn't get any changes, right? Yoshi probably thinks she's balanced. Tesla got buffed. Wraith was a good Tesla user. I used Tesla on Wraith today. I think Ricochet is just better, and usually you choose between Tesla and Ricochet. You can't really make both work together. She still likes the mass card throwing style that you get with Ricochet. I think she's solid. She's in the same page as Geist, where she is a good carry, but she dies pretty easily. So I'll put her in B tier. So overall, patch thoughts, right? People asked me about my thoughts of the patch. I think it refreshes the meta. Again, this is early predictions. It's after 1 day of playing. Some of these will change, but I think the S and S+ tier is pretty accurate. It might turn out that like Warden is a bit stronger than I expected, or Wraith, right? Or Infernus. I hear some people say she's like insane again. But overall, I like the patch, other than the Urn changes. And again, I think they will adjust them very fast. I think it's stupid that the Urn is right above mid-boss. The team that wins the Urn fight at 20 minutes usually also gets mid-boss, and then the game just snowballs. Games right now feel very snowbally, right? Where the team that gets the first Urn keeps on going for the same Urn over and over, and like the other team can't really stop them. So I like the balance changes, other than the Urn. That's it. That's the patch. That's the tier list. I hope that gave you a somewhat decent idea, and I'm going back to watching the tournament. Bye.